Two teams here fresh off Week 1 victories. Who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports? That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. On 1st and 10, Kirby. He's got Smith here. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That goes for a gain of 31.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Gun!
On 1st down, Kirby. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Well, these sacks are really piling up. Last week, it was a half-dozen sacks. And here's one on the opening drive.
And it has the potential to be what we call a gap, a game-altering play. Because, let's face it, you just mentioned 6 sacks last week. Now, if you're an offense and you saw that on tape, you've got to think to yourself, maybe I bring people in, keep them in, and try and protect my quarterback. It didn't work on that play.
4 down, 4 down. Check. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
To throw on 2nd down, Kirby. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Gun! 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 All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Kirby, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Dolphins have got it. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a 2-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. 2-hand. Oh, I get it. 2-hand monster. Both hands on the football, taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, Wilson. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. third down. Wilson. Flushed out right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Sheldon Rankins able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that'll bring up fourth down. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and the Dolphins will jump out to a 3-0 lead. So not sure how they feel about that. They had golden field position to start the drive after the fumble recovery, but they went backward and then got 3.
Well, let's go from gold to silver, because the silver lining is they got the 3, right? You were talking about the golden field position. They didn't take advantage of it. That has to feel like a letdown.
You always stand ready to pounce. Always. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Throwing on first down. Kirby. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Raekwon McMillan. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
After the interception, here's Wilson. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll go down at the 28. It'll be a gain of 6, and it's a second down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. A lot of attention paid this week in practice to red zone offense. The coach was optimistic about how it went. We'll see. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. On second down, here's Wilson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
To throw is Wilson. On 3rd down. Quick hitch, complete. It's Grant. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. A first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Back to that Philly. Here we go.
From the gun, Kirby. And he comes back with one complete. A big play for the Saints on 3rd down. And even 40 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Check. Patriot. Patriot. Gun, gun. Gun, gun. Gun, gun. Gun, gun.
On 1st and 10, Kirby. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds.